Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Gulfstream today. A beautiful day here. We've got fast track, fast pita, firm turf. I am Samantha Perry, joined along with Angela Herman, and this is our first time getting to do the morning show together, so it's exciting.
It's about time. Yeah, the girls are taking over the morning show today. Hopefully, we give you a lot of winners, or at least she can give you the winners. I'll give you the losers, and we'll take you through a very exciting Pegasus Eve card.
Yeah, and she said it best. It is Pegasus Eve here at Gulfstream Park. This is such an exciting time, and if you see any trees falling behind us, they are trimming the palm trees in the paddock here, so don't worry about us. We're going to be fine. We're covered here, but this place is just completely transformed, and it's so exciting to have everybody here, Angela, for this race. You just kind of feel it in the air here. And is this your first Pegasus?
This is going to be my first Pegasus Live, and I've already seen, like you said, the place starts to transform into. Gulfstream Park is a beautiful place anyway, but then you change it into Gulfstream on Pegasus weekend, and it's just amazing from top to bottom. Everything that they do over here, everything that they bring in, all of the crowds that come in, it's going to be a really fun weekend and a lot of good betting opportunities to come with it.
Yeah, most definitely. And today in the Rainbow Six, we have over $750,000 gross jackpot guarantee, and this will just be this starts in race number 5. Ronnie will have his Rainbow Six ticket just a little bit later, we'll show, but let's go ahead and just kick off things here, Angela, with race number 1. We've got a 10 race card today, and we have Brian's early pick 5 ticket, and I'll let you take us through his ticket here.
Well, we have to start there, of course. 6, 8, and 10 for him in the first. I believe Breaking Bullet is one of his stronger opinions on the card. That should start things off with some experience and with some horses who are just getting started in their racing careers. But again, Breaking Bullet, the top selection there. Race 2, 1, 2, 5, and 7 for him. Only one scratch in that. He's got his bases very much covered in there, but I know that this was an interesting maiden claimer, going a mile and 70 with some horses that are going to be trying it for the first time. So some question marks to answer. So figured he'd cover things in there. The single is in race number 3. That is the 3, Earth. Earth seeks another win over this Gulfstream Park main track. Lots of in-the-money performances, but 1 for 8 at this point. That is his single. I'm guessing right towards the front end. He would like to see Earth. 1, 10, and 12 inside and outside barriers covered there. Super Silver Dollar, your best bet, is one of his strongest opinions on the card as well. I think that 1, 10, and 12 definitely are the 3 that you're going to want to include. My long shot scratched out of there. Those are the numbers I'd go with. And 1 and 6 in race number 5. 6, 1 is his exact order. Mugu Ruza is my best bet of the day. He likes her a lot too. That leads to a $36 pick 5.
And this has an opportunity to really pay out big. Yesterday there were a few scratches, and it really paid huge on not some really heavy prices. So these pools have just been massive. Let's go ahead and jump into race number 1, a maiden $25,000 race, 7.5 furlongs on the grass here. And Angela, I pulled up a work video of the number 9 Alley Bear, which is my top pick, and this is a filly that I've actually galloped for the Brendan Walsh barn. And the first time I galloped her, I was not a fan. And then I watched her works, and she's on the inside here, and she just strides out so nicely, Angela. She's still a bigger filly, and I think she's trying to put her body together. But I think watching this work and seeing this field that she's running against today, this will put her right at the top.
Do you think starting out at this level, going 2 turns after having this many works, they've decided this is what they think she's going to be good at, so put her right away in the best spot where you think that she can break the maiden right off the bat?
Yeah, most definitely. The Walsh barn is very good with kind of putting these horses in certain areas, and she was training at fairgrounds, and they said, you know what, she's not going to cut it on the dirt here. Let's bring her here, try her on the turf a few times, and see how it goes. Now, first-time starters, you never know what you're going to get, and she can be a little goofy sometimes, so we'll see how she'll hold herself together. That's something we can watch for prior to the start of the race, but definitely a horse, I think, at a price in a wide open race has a really good shot. And you like the number 8 Breaking Bullet, which is a horse that has had some experience.
Well, and she's just the logical horse because she's shown a little bit of speed. She has two-turn experience, and she's got a lot of experience compared to most of her competition, including Allie Bear. But it is so valuable to have that information when you haven't seen them do it on the track. You've seen what Breaking Bullet can do. You're not going
Right.
to get much of a price, but you are very good at interpreting these workouts and translating them into terms that we can understand for handicapping. I want to ask, because we do have two maiden claimers to start things off, how do you compare a maiden special weight that has all these bullet works? How do you interpret a maiden claimer necessarily? Do you want to see them winning drills against maybe slower horses, or do you forgive them maybe losing in a morning drill to a really nice maiden special weight that could be a stakes horse?
You know, I would rather, and that's a good question, but I would rather see them heads up. That's just the way that I kind of prefer. Now, sometimes whenever you see a horse just blow by another horse in a work, they look a lot more impressive than they are. And sometimes they're not working with much. You always check to see who they're working against, and then you can kind of go from there. And then Todd Pletcher's a very good example of this. I mean, you know what horses are the good ones by who he works them with.
Yes, that's very fair. And that's something that you want to keep in mind in this race and as we go forward in the championship meet, because some of these good 3-year-olds are going to start making their debuts at this time of year, and you'll want to pay a little bit of extra attention to those morning works, and watching them on XBTV is a very valuable resource. Now, getting back to race number 1, I used the 2 in third, Dixie Groove. This one was claimed out of his or her second start for $25,000. They come right back in a similar sort of spot, but the barn is 0 for 9 first off the claim with maiden claimers, so I hesitated to use on top, used it underneath. I end up with 8, 11, and 2 and 4.
I think those are logical horses. It's such a wide open race, and just get a good look at them. You can look at them before you put in your pick 5 ticket, so that's always a nice little edge, and just kind of see how everybody's behaving. These are young girls that will be out, so we'll see how they act. Now, race number 2, the start of the early pick 4. I have got a ticket put together here. $18 is my ticket. We'll get to race 2 in just a moment. In race number 3, I really like the number 4. I'll figure it out, which I hope I've got it figured out for this. And in race number 4, I'm going with some super far outside horses, and I hope it plays off for me. But Super Silver Dollar is my best bet of the day. We're going to show a replay of that. It was an impossible stretch run last out. And in race number 5, the number 6 is my top pick, Muguruza, and that is your best bet. So we'll see how that works out for us. $18, and again, these pools have been huge lately. Everybody's getting involved right now because it's a huge weekend ahead, and they're always pretty large pools with these kind of these weekends here at the championship meet. It's wonderful to be here. But race number 2, $12,500 maiden claimers on the Tapeta, and you went with Late Call, which is an interesting horse.
I want to hear why. What is interesting about Late Call? What did I miss?
Oh, no. I worked for Jorge Duarte over the summer, and this is a horse that I would get on every morning. He was my buddy, and we both didn't want to wake up in the morning.
Well, you don't have him anywhere in there. Now I'm concerned if your buddy's not in the top 4.
Yeah.
But I thought that all the moves that they were making with Late Call, moving over to the Tapeta, getting down to the 12-5 level. If this horse is going to break his maiden at Gulfstream, I think this is the spot to do it.
Yeah.
Irad's going to get aboard, second off the layoff. A lot of things combined to make this horse, I thought, the horse to beat. I know that it wasn't an ideal run for him on the turf last time, but like I said, all the changes might shake him up a bit. Obviously, you know him better than I do, so how do you think that this horse will take to the Tapeta?
He's a bigger horse, Angela, and sometimes I don't like these bigger framed type of horses on the Tapeta. I kind of would rather have a more nimble-bodied type of horse. If he doesn't win here, then I don't know what's really left for him. This is kind of his last shot at really trying to break the maiden, and these connections are not afraid to lose one at all, and they've been getting a lot of horses claimed off of them this meet here, and this is going to be a shot. And he's a big, good-looking, dialed-in. He looks the part, but I just don't know if he's really got it all there yet. We'll see how he'll like the Tapeta. This is going to be, like I said, maybe his last shot of that, and we'll find out. But the number 7, Straight Time, taking a drop in class for me. I like to see these kind of moves from the Carlos David barn, and maybe it's concerning. Yeah, $20,000 they claim this horse for. Now in for the 12-5, but what can you do? You have to make room for horses that you think are going to be competitive in this championship meet.
Of course, and Straight Time has only done the claiming game a handful of times, so I'm
Yeah.
more forgiving than I normally would be of an over 13 maiden. I did use him second, though, until he finds that killer instinct, but this field is definitely going to be a good testing point for that. I did use him second. I think you used Mr. Cellular second, and Mr. Cellular is going to go back to the Tapeta, which he
Yep.
raced pretty well at three back.
Yep, he did. And these are connections that you just really can't ignore. But, just a wide open race. And I'm sure you were like me with the number 5, Cantilate. What do you do here? This horse was avoided claim last out. But
Yeah.
the thing is Jose Ortiz stays aboard. Jose D'Angelo, he likes this horse. We'll see. This is his level for
Yeah.
sure, and we'll just have to see what he puts together today. And we'll move on to race number 3. This is a claiming $62.50 race. 6 furlongs on our fast main track. No scratches or changes out of this race. And the number 2, Corduroy Road. I'll let you talk about this because you also have a stat on this horse.
Yes, he was a recent claim for the Marty Drexler barn, and we'll show the stat for Corduroy Road's trainer, his new trainer, Marty Drexler. That's down at Gulfstream Park. He is 3 for his last 11, shipping off the claim, and he's 2 for his last 4. That's over the last 5 years. It's a solid 3.18 ROI, $3.18 for a couple bucks. Great, I'll take that. Corduroy Road isn't going to be a great price, but I think that Earth might take more money. I just think that the money might be more spread out than making him 2 to 1. I would expect maybe 5 to 2, 3 to 1. That's fair enough. And Corduroy Road follows that pattern that's worked recently for the Drexler barn. He had won at Woodbine just a notch below 7,500 at the $5,000 level. I think that's a good lateral move to move over to the dirt here. That'll be the question with Corduroy Road. Will he handle the main track? He obviously did at Palmettos, and I think that this horse is set for a big effort towards the front end.
Yeah, and I do like this horse, Angela. My only concern is I love these Woodbine shippers, but I almost think they need a race over this course, especially on the dirt. But we'll see. I like the connections here, and that's definitely a good stat and one that kind of makes you scratch your head. But like you said with Earth, this is a consistent horse and very consistent at running second. He has 12 second place finishes.
A lot of pieces.
Yep, which is good. I mean, you're picking up a check every single time for races like that. I'll figure it out. The 4 is my top pick. Jose Morelos just got a win aboard this horse, and I don't typically like picking a horse to make a back-to-back win on this kind of level. Sometimes it worries you, and like Ben Copenhagen, for example, Angela, I bet him last race, and he was coming off a win as well, and just didn't fare well. But the thing that really attracted me to I'll Figure It Out is Jose Morelos ends up on I'll Figure It Out and not Ben Copenhagen, and he's ridden Ben Copenhagen the last 2 times, including a victory out of that. So sometimes these jockeys know what they've got a little more under the tank than we can just watching the race or looking at the PPs.
Well, and he had ridden Earth a lot previously, too. So if you assume he might have had options in here and he goes with I'll Figure It Out, why not follow along? And like you said, at this level, it's hard to ask them to go back to back, but that was also his first dip down to this level.
Exactly.
So maybe it's just what he wants to do at this point in his career, and he might be able to ride the hot streak to 2 in a row. I don't blame you for taking this horse. I had some shakeups between the top 4 that I took, but I thought the Corduroy Road might end up a little bit higher than his morning line, so I went that way, and the stats kind of back it up. So we agree on this one. Just shake up the order.
Yeah, exactly. And you could run this race 10 different times, and every single time a different result would come out of it. So
probably.
Yeah, those are just these types of races. Now, race number 4, I don't know about you, but I am excited about this race today. I know you scratched into Super Silver Dollar, but let me just tell you, in South Florida, we love this family. This is the half-brother to Soup and Sandwich, and we all call him Baby Soup out at Palmettos in the Mark Cassie barn.
Baby Soup.
Yeah, Baby Soup. He's just a little gray horse, not much about him at all. He goes in draw reins. Those are just kind of to help a horse use themselves in morning training. And let's watch the replay here. And this was just a race that blew me away. So here he was, buried between horses on December 29th. And look at him. He just tried so hard. He was so green, but look at how well he just really, and once he finally got straightened out, Irad got him straight. Look at that. I mean, what an incredible, gutsy little horse, because that was just his second start. And this is a family that takes a little bit to mature. And I don't know. I was so excited to watch this horse run back. I hope he can kind of get, he's matured probably off of that race,
You'd think, yeah.
and I think that this will help him a lot.
I the ability's there,
Yeah.
so you just need to get a few things straightened out. Super Silver Dollar obviously will go where his jockey wants him to, so Irad doesn't need to sit in one spot or the other or stay wide to be in
Right.
the clear. If this horse can save a bit of ground and the 2 scratches will help that cause. I did scratch into him, but I liked him anyway. I
Yeah.
just thought that the price would be a lot bigger on my long shot that scratched Ransour. I didn't have him throwing People Force in out of that same race because, I mean, they were only a neck apart at the end of
Exactly.
things. But the more impressive professional run, even though he was a little green getting there, came from Super Silver Dollar rather than People Force, but they're hard to separate as far as paper. I would definitely keep an eye on the board because people might not bet the 13 just by virtue of the post and by the fact that he lost last time.
Exactly.
But they're similar sorts of horses.
Yeah, they are. And this is a race where, since we had 2 scratches come out of it, of the 4 and the 5, the number 15 and 13 draw in. And sometimes you can forget about horses like this. And I threw in the number 15 Cyclone Ranger, another one for the Walsh Barn, that was actually pretty impressive first time out, and I wasn't expecting him to run top 3 at all, and this is another one that I've got on, and he's really matured off that last race. But like you said, the 13 and 15 posts are not places you want to be, but as far as experience goes, these horses have it.
And they have lots of room to move forward.
Right.
Maybe the 5 starters to their inside, Reed on, Glenholm. Maybe we've seen the best that we're going to get out of them at this level or on this surface. You're not there yet with Super Silver Dollar, People Force, Cyclone Ranger, a lot of them in here. So give them a break, give them a little bit of leeway for their most recent races and see what they have to offer today, because I think both will take a step forward.
Race number 5 we will come to in just a moment. We've got a short break, and we'll be back with Ron's Rainbow 6 ticket.
This is a championship meet. Yeah. All the best jockeys in the world are here, and I'm excited to ride against them.
We back.
And you get to watch some really incredible, talented athletes out there.
Yeah.
To us, it's a place to be in the winter.
I love Gulfstream Park because of the racing.
The palm trees, the beach is right here. The horse racing is some of the best in the country.
A lot of good horses come out of here. And if you want to go to the next level, Gulfstream Park was the place to come.
I remember the first time I came to Gulfstream, it was like this big fairy tale place. All the history.
Shoemaker sitting perfectly still. He hasn't touched this magnificent colt, and here comes the finish.
And all these great horses, trainers, jockeys. It was everything that I ever dreamed of.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today. Samantha Perry joined with Angela Herman. We are halfway through the card on this Friday, Pegasus Eve here, and race number 5 is the start of the Rainbow 6, and we've got a Rainbow 6 ticket from none other than the legend Ron Nicoletti here, 4 deep in this 5th race. In race number 6, he's got a little coverage with 3 horses, and race 7 must be his best bet, and that is the number 2, Sure Can. I really do love that horse a lot, coming from the Brian Lynch barn. Race number 8, 3 by 3 by 2 to kick off, or to end the rest of his picks. 2 and 2 in race 8 and 9, and to end things off, race number 10, 4 and 8. First time starter, the 8 for Larry Ravelli. Frosted Bird, 43.20 is his ticket. $750,000 gross jackpot guaranteed here. And race number 5 here, Angela. Scratch the number 2, Starship Nugget, and a wide open race for 7 furlongs here. We both landed on the 6. I'll let you. We have a replay actually of this horse winning, Angela, here at Gulfstream Park, and I'll let you talk about why you like Muguruza.
I like Muguruza because when she took the step up in class, she finished 3rd that day. That was the race after this one. Now this is where Muguruza wins impressively on the front end. They saw enough in her where they wanted to step her up into classier company. That's Muguruza on the front. She makes all the running, and she comes home a length and a quarter in front. Now, Muguruza was about 9-1 that day. She was 6-1 morning line, but you like her, I like her, Brian likes her. I think the more realistic price would probably be about 5-2 or 3-1 on Muguruza, because it doesn't look like she's going to get a lot of pressure on the pace. Now, there's a couple of possibilities. You'd think maybe no decaf on the inside, who hasn't shown as much speed lately, and a couple of others that have shown speed, but don't do it as consistently as Muguruza could go up and pressure her. But I thought she could slip clear, and I think that I wouldn't have used as many as Ronnie did in the playbook pick 6, but Muguruza is a horse that I would use as maybe one of 2 in this.
Yep. Race number 6 is the start of a late pick 5, a mile on the 16th on our Tapeta track, and I have got a ticket here for us, Angela, singling off the bat here with number 5, Affy Kid, and race number 7. I love the number 2, but I really do like the way the number 1 worked at the OBS sale, so I think we haven't seen the best of her yet. Race number 8, my top pick is the 2, Perfect Grace, coming off a pretty big layoff here, and race number 9, the number 3 is my top pick, Kizzy. And race number 10, ending things off with 3 different horses. The number 2, Midnight Getaway, my top pick. But this race number 6 here, I singled off with the number 5, Affy Kid, Claudio Gonzalez, Edgar Perez, just a lot of things to like about this horse. But the number 1, easy as ABC, first off the claim for Jose Pinchin. What else did you see in this horse?
Just the fact that when he dropped down to this level, he blew that field away. So maybe there's a happy medium in there somewhere between the 50,000s, the maiden special weights, and the bottom level, the 12-5 and the maiden claimers, where when he goes for a second win, this seemed pretty realistic. And I thought that the horse might be able to either get the lead outright or stay close to it. I do respect Affy Kid, and I have him in the top 4, but Affy Kid ran that monster race when he too dropped down, and then just hasn't duplicated it since, albeit against a lot tougher horses, but I still didn't think that his style was necessarily suitable to what I think might be a tepid pace.
Yeah, it really could be, and you said it best. Can they duplicate these types of races that they're exiting off of, like easy as ABC 1 by 9 lengths? Remains to be seen. We'll see it, though, in the 6th race. In race number 7, a maiden special weight event, 5 furlongs. Scratch the 3 and the 6 out of this race here. This is the start of a late pick 4. Brian put a ticket together. He's singling with Sure Can. $15 ticket here. Race number 8, the number 3, Peachy Weechy for the Mike Maker Barn, and Rosebug, a Billy Mott horse coming off of a little bit of a layoff as well. You can tell that he doesn't have a huge opinion in race number 9 here, Angela, as he went pretty deep, but it is a wide open race. And in race number 10, a maiden claiming event, he went 3 deep in that. Midnight Getaway for Daniel Pita, the morning line favorite. $15 for Brian. And in race number 7 here, we're all on Sure Can, so I'm curious to see if you are as well.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I have Sure Can on top. And I know that we've taken some different horses underneath. For the most part, you and I match up. We both have Pardon Moi and Accomplished Girl, like you said, who worked out really well. We also have Tactical Joke in there. You have Tactical Joke in 4th, and I believe that there's a replay of him working out with Go On Mo.
Yep, Go On Mo won yesterday here, took the opener, and this is a horse that, so we've got on the outside, this is Tactical Joke, unnamed at the time here. Go On Mo is on the inside. Now, like I said, Go On Mo won yesterday. Really got the best of Tactical Joke in this work, and they've worked a couple times together. I'm just really not convinced about this horse as a grass horse. They paid $560,000 for this horse, and this is a big, solid horse filly for a Practical Joke. And you know, Wesley Ward can do it. But I was against his horse yesterday, but I'm more against this one from that workout than Go On Mo yesterday. And you're going to get a huge. It won't be any value betting this horse, Angela, so I wanted to show that just in case you were thinking of betting that horse. By all means, you can go ahead, but that is just maybe a testament to it's not that great.
Yeah, and that leads back to the question that I asked you before the 1st and the 2nd, if you want to see horses win a heads-up drill like that, or is it okay if they get behind a horse like a Go On Mo? But Go On Mo repeatedly came home ahead of this filly, so I question it as well.
Exactly.
They just want to give it, I mean, with how much they paid for her, you have to start in the spot, even if it's not where she's going to end up eventually. So I would use her underneath like you did, but Sure Can, with his experience and with the way that he jumped, or that she jumped up going over to the turf, stood out to me. And I think that she'll be in the neighborhood of 9 to 5.
Yeah, definitely not going to get a big price on here. Race number 8, scratch the number 1 and 6 out of this race. This is going 7 furlongs on the dirt here. And the number 3, Peachy Weechy for you, Angela. Mike Maker, Irad Ortiz. Do you need to say more?
I guess not. Yeah, they just decided to plunk down $35,000 for her. They put her back in for 25, but I thought maybe it was the distance more that drew them to this race. And you talk about 6.5 and 7 being very much specialist distances, and I agree with you completely. She She seems like a specialist at it, and I think that maybe taking on some tough, classy competition who haven't run in a while might be the right spot at the right time for her.
Yeah, she's got a little bit of a recency edge, so this is a horse that if you like, definitely play, because I think she will probably could get overlooked as far as some of the other horses in the race. And we've got a stat on Rosebug here making her return here to Gulfstream Park. Go ahead and talk us through this stat.
Yeah, Rosebug comes from the barn that Bill Mott lays these horses off but brings them back ready to roll. 15 for 50 to be exact, with a $3.21 ROI. When he brings them back in spots like this, optional claimers, and it seems like a very realistic return to the races for her. She's been flattered by some of her competition coming back, especially Morning Matcha and those races in the Chicada and the Busanda. There's some bullet works in the holster. There's a lot to like about Rosebug. You won't get 9-2, but the stats definitely back up this filly coming back off the bench firing.
Yeah, they do. And she'll have to really take a step up and run a lot faster than she has. But we'll see how she'll fare out. The Bill Mott barn does know how to get them ready on types of layoffs like this. Race number 9, start of the late daily double, 7.5 furlongs on the grass here. And as you can see by Brian's ticket, completely wide open here. You and I both landed on Kizzy, and this is a horse that won last race. The second place finisher, French Franc, coming from the Mark Cassidy barn, came back to win pretty impressively, and I think that flatters this mare quite a bit.
I would agree too, and I think that last race took her out of her style. She didn't break very well. Usually this one is much closer to the lead, which should be advantageous today. But Kizzy broke slow. Jose Morales let her settle into her stride, and she still got up by 3/4 of a length over, like you said, the repeat winner next out. Did you see Kizzy on the lead outright, or maybe sitting first or second?
I think now that she's proven that she can be rated a little bit more, I think I'm hoping for sitting a little bit of a stalking trip here. She's shown versatility, so that helps in kind of deciding on where jockey Jose Morelos wants to go, but at least whatever comes with him, we know that she can adapt to it.
Well put. Okay, going on to race number 10.
Race number 10, our finale, maiden $16,000 event, 5 furlongs on the Tapeta here. Race number 8, Frosted Bird, breaking from the outside post here, the 9 scratches and the 5 scratches, and I'm just not a huge fan of horses breaking from the far inside, far outside, first time out, but the class might be here where it won't matter.
I hope it sure does. We in Minnesota are very well versed in Larry Ravelli bringing up fast horses that can beat a lot of the locals. And one thing you know you're going to get with one of his horses, especially one of his first-time starters, is speed. And if this horse can get out of the gate, I think this is pretty realistic 5 furlong spot. I don't mind the outside with this particular setting because he is going to move in, going to move in just one slot with the scratch of Explosive Wave. But I didn't see a bunch of speed on paper to his inside that would make life extremely difficult on the front end. I think that if Red Gun and Blue Lieutenant don't go out there and go like sub 22, he should be in good shape on the outside and prove what he has to offer at first asking.
It'll be a very wide open race in the finale. That wraps up our 10 race card on this Pegasus Eve. Let's get into the lightning round. We have an amazing weekend ahead. A mandatory pick 6 payout this Sunday. It's going to be a really nice card. Big fields, over $3 million estimated in the gross jackpot pool. Get your studying done, get your bankrolls up for Sunday from the Pegasus on Saturday, because on Saturday, tomorrow, we have huge pools guaranteed for these late pick 5, late pick 4, $750,000 guaranteed in the late pick 5, $750 in the late pick 4, and $350 in the Pegasus pick 3. A really cool sequence. All the Pegasus races for the late pick 3, 11, 12, and 13, Pegasus World Cup, Pegasus Filly and Mare Turf, and Pegasus Turf. Lots of cool opportunities to make money. And Angela, your best bet today?
My best bet is Muguruza. I'm so glad that I'm not going to have to say that more than about 2 or 3 times. Sorry, Pete Aiello, I don't envy you. Muguruza for me.
And my best bet of the day is the number 10, Super Silver Dollar in race number 4. You lost your long shot. My long shot of the day is Kizzy, 8-1 on the morning line. I don't know if we'll get that, but if I do, jump all over that in race number 9, the number 3. Today, outpick Claudia. Sign up to pick more winners than Claudia. You have to sign up before 2 p.m. on Friday. You can win up to $500. And let's see if you can pick some winners, more winners than her. She'll be here throughout the day with us as well, along with Brian Nato and Ron Nicoletti. Beat the Expert tomorrow. Speaking of Brian Nato, he is up for Beat the Expert. Pick more winners than him. It's our Pegasus card, a massive day. You can sign up on GulfstreamPark.com/wagering. You get a really cool polo, and we're going to have to give him a heck for this jacket again. He's like an optical illusion out there.
I know. Piece of cake. No problem. Get a better blazer. Beat Brian. Should be an easy and fun Pegasus day for anybody taking a swing at that.
It really will. We'll be out with you throughout the whole day, hoping to give you some winners to get your bankroll built up for tomorrow. It's Pegasus Day, guys, here at Gulfstream Park tomorrow, and it'll be a great weekend of racing to come. Good luck. I'm going to send it up to Pete Aiello with the scratches and changes.
We're ready for the start. They're off.